Many of you expected so many to be here, okay, but I am taking the meditation this time. She has an early morning class with the Hindu University in States, so okay. Okay. Now, many of you have been exposed to various different meditations. Then over the next 2 days, I'll try to integrate the whole thing into one practice, okay? Into one practice, so that you can bring in a lot of things into it. And when you do it by yourself, expand or contract whatever you need in your life, okay? Whatever you need in your life, expand and contract. Like some people may want to keep the Manasa Puja elaborate. Some people may want to focus a lot more on the acceptance meditation. Okay? Depends on how things are in your life. Focus on those things more. And towards the end of it, we'll also go a little bit into Nididhyasanam. Yeah. Into Nididhyasanam. So, if you do that, things will be fine, okay? So, all right. And of course, as usual, we have messages coming in. Swamiji, I can't do this. Swamiji, I can't do that. Okay? You know, sometimes when you're dealing with your laptops or your connections and everything, you need to have a sailor's attitude towards it. You know? At the risk of sounding sexist, I will say, a sailor treats all pieces of machinery, from a small little water pump to the huge ship, as a she. He always relates to the ship as a she, you know, ship, machinery, everything. Because there's a better, what you call, bonding is there. At the same time, he knows sometimes it can be a little bit temperamental. Therefore, it may not function here, may not open up as you want. Yeah. So these things may happen. So we are okay with that. Yeah. Not to get panicky about it and things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with that much, okay. That's why I said I'm sounding sexy sometimes, but it helps. If it helps in life, it helps. Do what works in life. Okay. Yeah. So with that, remember, the foundation of meditation is laid in your lifestyle. As Krishna says in the Gita, Yukta ahara viharasya yukta karma sucheshtasya. Same thing Buddha echoed a couple of thousand years later, okay, by saying right activity, right sleep, right wakefulness, etc. In other words, a life of deliberateness, awarefulness, and moderation. You can't have an extreme lifestyle and be a good meditator. Okay. Now you can become a good meditator, and then later on, if your lifestyle becomes extreme here and there, there will not be a problem. But when you are learning to be at home with meditation, lifestyle cannot be too extreme. Too extreme. Of course, a couple of days here and there, that is common. We are talking about what is the norm in your lifestyle. Plus, Karma Yoga Buddhi, the attitude of Karma Yoga. Because that is the first step to take care of worry, anxiety, etc. Okay. You don't meditate to become calm. You become relatively calm in your lifestyle and then meditate. That's why you need that Karma Yoga Buddhi in your life. And you can say, I don't have time for meditation. But you can't say, I don't have time for karma yoga. Because it doesn't call for doing anything special. It just calls for your normal life with certain attitude change. That's all. So as long as that attitude change is there, things work out well. Okay. So with these as base, and there will be always situations in life when you may be a bit shaken. Things may happen which you may find it difficult to have that attitude of acceptance, surrender, etc. Once in a way, it happens to all of us. That's okay. Anything is okay once in a way. Okay, you don't have to judge yourself by that. Yeah. So that is the time when you have to bring in, talk to a mentor, talk to a guru, talk to a whatever necessary for you to handle it. Yeah. So with this much as the base, and the meditator is always more important than the meditation. So the meditator has to set right. Psychological issues, etc. has to be dealt with. If you are not aware of what psychological issues you have, then in meditation will come up and you can deal with it. Okay. Again, deal with it how? Like how you deal with it normally. No? With the help of a mentor, with the help of a teacher, with the help of a therapist, with whatever help you need. Okay? Do what works in life. Keep this one principle going. Do what works. Yeah. Don't keep repeating what doesn't work. To keep repeating what doesn't work in life and to keep doing the same thing and expecting a better result or a different result is a sign of insanity. Okay? Some Western philosopher said that's a sign of insanity. Even if it's not a sign of insanity, it's a sign of very great foolishness. Okay, yeah. So, with all this as a background, just to remind you, all that is necessary before you meditate. Okay. After that, let's go into the actual practice itself. So, as usual, the practice will start with sitting straight wherever you are. I know you are in front of a computer, so you may not be always sitting cross-legged, etc., which doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. We talked about cross-leg for meditation generally because in those days, Indians always sat cross-legged on the floor. Yeah. Sitting was meant cross-legged sitting, okay. Yeah. There was like norm, like how today a table and chair is norm. Those days, sitting cross-legged was the norm. So, most of the description of meditation, etc., starts with that. Okay, all right. So, you sit comfortably and you ensure that your spine is erect. Okay. This can be achieved by pushing yourself into the back of the chair or sitting at the edge of the chair. Either way, you will get this very easily, very naturally. Okay. Yeah. And then we will start by getting into a bit of a relaxed state. So, we start by relaxing the body. For that, ensure that your eyes and mouth are gently closed. Okay, yeah, that your eyes and mouth are gently closed. No frown on your face. Facial muscles relaxed. Neck muscles relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Arms, forearms, palms and fingers relaxed. Chest muscles relaxed. Stomach relaxed. Sides relaxed. Upper back, lower back relaxed. Waist and hips relaxed. Thigh muscles relaxed. Your knees, calf muscles, ankles, feet and toes, all relaxed. Look at this body in one sweep of vision from the head to the toe. It's all relaxed. Your body is like any other body sitting here. It's all relaxed. Now, to help you quieten your mind further, just pay attention to the breathing. Breathing happens, you are just paying attention to it. You can start by feeling the breath at the tip of your nostrils. See if you can feel the breath at the back, more towards your sinus, and the back of the throat as it goes in. It naturally happens, you are just watching it. Can you feel the breath going in and filling up your lungs naturally, without an effort of breathing? You don't have to make any effort in breathing, it happens by its own. Just be aware of the breath in your lungs. Your lungs cannot expand unless your diaphragm moves down. Can you get that sensation? Just be aware of it. The effect of the breath goes down up to your diaphragm. Can you feel it lower down in your nabhi? The breath is only in your lungs, but you get the sensation in your nabhi, in your navel, and just below. Now let the breathing happen. You invoke the Lord, Bhagavan, Ishvaraha, in whatever form you can relate to. All forms are His forms. Therefore, you can invoke him in any form and offer a manasa puja, a mental worship. Whatever worship you are used to outside, do it mentally. Now take the arati plate for the final arati. The final arati is always camphor. See the camphor flaring up under your match. Offer the arati to the Lord. See the face of your Ishtadevata, your Lord, lighting up from the light of the camphor. Put down the arati plate, take the arati yourself, and you sit for your meditation. This is the point where if you need a lot of acceptance in your life about things and situations and people that you cannot accept, you bring that here with the prayerful attitude that you have had after the Manasa Puja. Look at those difficult people in your life. Your parents and all that you went through as a child. Accept them for what they are. You don't have to justify anything they did or did not do. Nobody taught them how to parent. Just accept it. It's an order, okay, it's all right. I'm an adult now. I don't have to be conditioned by those things anymore. For that, first acceptance. Your siblings in life. Very often it's a very sometimes challenging relationship. You love them, you will fight with them, all that is there. Accept them for what they are. They may be very different from what you are. Just accept. It's okay. Your children or lack of children, accept them for what they are. Your partner in life, of course. Sometimes you be in a situation you can't live without him or her, and you can't live with him or her. That's okay. That's part of the game called life. Okay. Or the absence of a partner in life. Accept that. Your work colleagues, you cooperate, you compete, both happens. Accept them. Your bosses, accept them for what he or she is. Swamiji, my boss is a pain, I just can't accept. So then put some space between both of you all. A lot of companies available. Walk away. Your juniors, accept them for what they are. If you think you have to deal with 4 fools at work, your boss may be thinking he has to deal with 5. So accept them for what they are. The list is endless. For now, bring any person who's in your life who's very difficult to accept for you. Bring that person into your mind and just say, tell yourself, I accept this person. He or she is struggling with his or her mind exactly like how I am struggling with mine. I don't have to be great friends or anything, but I accept the person for what the person is. Even if you think the person is a fool, accept the person as a fool. It's okay. Even if you have to walk away, accept the person and then walk away. Accept that. The situation in your life. I'm not talking about the general COVID restrictions. They have become norm now in our lives. I'm talking about a more challenging, difficult situation you may be facing. Bring that situation to your mind and say, I accept it. I will deal with it. I accept it. I accept the situation. I accept my ability to deal with it. I accept the help that I may need to deal with it. Accept that. Mentally prostrate to the Lord once again. May He give me the courage to change the situations I need to change, the willingness to accept what I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. With that in your mind, that prayerful attitude in your mind, you sit down for your japa. In the japa, all that is there with you is the sound of the chant and the sound of silence. Nothing else. The whole world has disappeared. When the chant is there, I will do the chant. Of course, when you are doing it on your own, you will do it. When the chant is there, listen to the chant. When the chant is not there, listen to the silence. I may say a few things in between to guide you. Before you start again, look, is your posture erect? Is your facial muscles relaxed? Your whole body relaxed? Om Ishaya Namaha. 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 In the beginning, you will notice that there is a chant and there is silence. Chant and silence. As your attention is more and more on the silence, you will find there is silence before the chant and there is silence after the chant. Om Ishaya Namaha. 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 Silence before the chant, silence after the chant. The chant is born in silence and dies down into silence. Like a wave born in the ocean dies down into the ocean. The chant is born in silence, dies down into the silence. Om Ishaya Namaha. Om Ishaya Namaha. Om Ishaya Namaha. Om Ishaya Namaha. Your attention is on the silence. You cannot be watching silence without being silence yourself. The silence you are trying to watch is not different from you, the silence. Notice what happens in your mind when you are watching that silence. You are silence. That means from you the silence, the chant is born. Into you the silence, the chant dies down. Om Ishaya Namaha. 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 The silence that you are cannot be disturbed by any sound. My words are creating thoughts in your mind. That thoughts do not disturb the silence. They only highlight the silence that you are. In silence you are listening to my words. As silence you are listening to my words. The whole world enters you as a thought. The sound that is there outside has to enter your mind as a thought. That thought is nothing but a wave in the silence. It's born in silence, dies down into silence. Even when the wave is there, you are that silence. The silence that you are is not disturbed by the thought that is born in silence. Om Ishaya Namaha. 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 Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamugacchati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyati. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You can cup your eyes and come back to normal thinking. Okay, remember when you are doing this meditations, etc., and never fail to emphasize that you pick up a time when you are most alert. Okay. It is true, ideal time is at Brahma Muhurta. Okay. After 3 in the morning, early morning. It is called Brahma Muhurta because I think only Brahmaji can get up at that time and meditate. People like you and me may find it a bit difficult. Okay. So choose a reasonable time, it's okay. And if you need a cup of tea or coffee before you meditate, please have it. Okay. You don't have to feel, no, it's a spiritual discipline. I must do this without even my first cup of tea or coffee. No. Not necessarily. If it helps you keep awake, please take it. Okay. Help you awake, please take it. Yeah. So, do what is comfortable. Do what makes you alert, deliberate in your meditation. Okay. And meditation should happen effortlessly. Don't put too much of pressure into yourself. No forcing yourself. If at some time lot of thoughts keep coming, For a couple of minutes, let the thoughts come and go. Don't get carried away with it. Just let it come and go. Just watch. Let it happen. Let the thoughts happen. Okay. It's a separate form of meditation by itself called Sakshi Bhava. If you have time during these 2 days, we will do it. Just witness. Let thoughts come and go. You just sit. Let us see what all games the mind can play. Without getting involved, just watch. Then pick up your japa again. Okay. Here the number of japa etc. doesn't matter. No count this thing. Okay. So you can do this with your mantra that you have been given diksha with, or you can pick up Om Ishaya Namaha, or any other that you feel you can relate to. Okay. It doesn't matter what mantra you use. All mantras are fine. Okay. Do anyone have any questions or clarifications with us? Or you are comfortable with this much? I think most of you have been exposed to some meditation or the other, so you will be comfortable. Most of you are there at regulars, at least in our online camp, so I'm sure this much you are fine with. And tomorrow we'll build upon this a bit more. Okay. So I'm assuming that there are no questions because I don't find anything in the chat box nor in any hand raised. Okay. Yeah. I think Sonali is representing Swamini here, and she's taking care of the backup in terms of looking after the people coming in, going out, etc. And she has given you the option to unmute and ask a question also. I am comfortable with that as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, if there are no questions, that means this much is fine. We start with this, and we are stopping 10 minutes early, yes, because I am sure there is a lot of breakfast things to be taken care of at home for most of you. Okay, children at home, etc. Plus you also must be feeling hungry since you got up earlier and had a bath and all, and come and sat down for meditation. I think for the people who are joining from US and all that, it's the other way around. Okay, you have to keep awake. Don't worry. Ensure that you get some sleep also in between. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, you'll just be continuing the sleep in the class. And whatever little bit here and there you miss, you can catch up with the recordings. We'll put up the recordings as soon as possible. Yeah. Okay. So let us take a break now and come back at 10 o'clock sharp. Okay. At 10 o'clock, we'll see a new text which many of you may not have seen, called Vigyana Nauka. Okay. I will be there at 10 also. Swamini will come for the next class after that. Okay. So good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.